religion, it should be okay to be proud of, I guess, all religions, provided they're not like
oppressive.
Yeah, or don't, like, as long as part of that religion is not like exterminating people who are not in that religion.
Right.
So it's really just like a consistency bias, or just like ensuring consistency to eliminate bias. So if it is possible to be racist against one race, it is possible to be racist against any race. So
of course, logically.
Yes.
Yeah, and arguing against that's when you know you're captured.
It's a logical inconsistency that makes AIs go insane.
And people.
And people go insane, yes. But like like you can't simultaneously say that there's systemic racist oppression, but also that races don't exist. That race is a social construct. Like, which is it? You know, you also can't say that anyone who steps foot in America is automatically an American, except for the people that originally came here.
Exactly. Except for the colonizers.
Yeah, except for the evil colonizers who came here.
Right.
So which one is it? Like,
right.
If as soon as you step foot in a place, you're just as American as everyone else, then that would have applied. If you apply that consistently, then the original white settlers were also just as American as everyone else.
Yeah. Logically. One more thing that I have to talk to you about before you leave is the rescuing of the people from the space station, which we talked about. You were planning it the last time you were here. The lack of coverage that got in mainstream media was one of the most shocking things that I think
they totally memory hold that thing.
Wild.
Yes.
Because if
it's like it didn't exist.
Those people would be dead. They'd be stuck up there.
Well, they'd probably still be alive, but they'd be having bone density issues because of prolonged exposure to zero gravity.
Well, they were already up there for like 8 months, right?
Yeah.
Which is an insanely long time. It takes forever to recover just from that.
Yeah, they're only supposed to be at the space station for 3 to 6 months, maximum. So
one of the things that you told me that was so crazy was that you could have gotten them sooner, but
but for political reasons, they did not want SpaceX or me to be associated with returning the astronauts before the election.
That is so wild that's a fact.
First of all, we absolutely could have done it.
But even though you did do it, and you did it after the election, it received almost no media coverage anyway.
Yes, because nothing good can... The media, which is essentially a far-left propaganda... The legacy mainstream media is a far-left propaganda machine. And so any story that is positive about someone who is not part of the sort of far-left tribe will not get any coverage. So I could save a busload of orphans and it wouldn't get a single news story.
Yeah, it really is nuts. It was nuts to watch, because even though it was discussed on podcasts and it was discussed on X and it was discussed on social media, it was a blip in the news cycle. It was very quick. It was in and out. And because it was a successful launch, and you did rescue those people, nobody got hurt, and there was nothing really there was no blood to talk about.
Right.
Just fucking in and out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and as you saw firsthand with the Starship launch, Starship is, at least by some would consider it to be like the most amazing, engineering project that's happening on Earth right now, outside of maybe AI and robotics. But certainly in terms of a spectacle to see, it is the most spectacular thing that is happening on Earth right now is the Starship launch program, which anyone can go and see if they just go to South Texas and they can just rent a hotel room low cost in South Padre Island or in Brownsville, and you can see the launch, and you can drive right past the factory because it's not a public highway, but it gets no coverage. or what coverage it does get was like rocket blew up coverage.
Right, yeah. Oh, he's a fuckwit. The rocket blew up.
The Starship program is vastly more capable than the entire Apollo moon program. Vastly more capable. This is a spaceship that is designed to make life multiplanetary, to carry millions of people across the heavens to another planet. The Apollo program could only send astronauts to the moon for a few hours at a time. Like they could send 2 hours. The entire Apollo program could only send astronauts to visit the moon very briefly, and then for a few hours, and then depart. The Starship program could create an entire lunar base with 1 million people. You understand the magnitudes are different, very different magnitudes here.
So what was the political resistance?
There's basically no coverage of it.
Yeah, but what I wanted to ask you is like, what were the conversations leading up to the rescue? Like when you were like, I can get them out way quicker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I raised this a few times, but it was I was told instructions came from the White House that that there should be no attempt to rescue before the election.
That should be illegal. That really should be a horrendous miscarriage of justice for those poor people that were stuck on that.
It is crazy.
Have you ever talked to those folks afterwards? Did you have conversations with them?
Yeah, I mean they're not going to say anything political. They're not like they're never going to.
Did they at least say thank you?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
but the instructions came down from the White House. You cannot rescue them because politically, this is a bad hand of cards.
I mean, they didn't say because politically it's a bad hand of cards, but they just said they were not interested in any rescue operation before the election. Yeah. So.
What did that feel like?
I wasn't surprised.
But it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because Biden could have authorized it, and they could have said the Biden administration is helping bring those people back, throw you a little funding, give you some money to do it. The Biden administration, they funded these people being returned.
The Biden administration was not exactly my best friend.
That's what I heard.
Especially after I, helped Trump get elected. Which, I mean, some people still think, Trump is like the devil, basically. And I mean, I think Trump actually, he's not perfect, but he's not evil. Trump is not evil. I mean, I spent a lot of time with him, and he's a product of his time, but he's not evil.
No, I don't think he's evil either. But if you look at the media coverage,
the media treats him like he's super evil. Yeah.
It's pretty shocking if you look at the amount of negative coverage. Like one of the things that I looked at the other day was mainstream media coverage of you, Trump, a bunch of different public figures, and then
it's like
Mamdani.
96% negative or something crazy.
Yeah. And then Mamdani, which is like 95% positive.
Right. I mean, Mamdani is a charismatic swindler. I mean, you got to hand it to him. Like he can light up a stage, but he has just been a swindler his entire life, I think he's likely to win. He's likely to be mayor of New York City.
Very likely.
Yeah, very likely.
I think Polymarket has it at what? What is the 94%?
Yeah, that sounds pretty likely.
That's crazy.
Like, I'm not sure who the 6% are,
So
So that's.
Well, it's also like who's on the other side? The fucking guardian angel guy with the beret, and Cuomo, who doesn't even have a party. Like the Democrats don't even want him. So you have those two options. And then you have the young kids who are like, finally, socialism.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about, obviously. So, you know, like you just look at this: how many boats come from Cuba to Florida, and how many boats? Because, you know, there's like a constant. I was thinking, like, how many boats are accumulating on the shores of Florida coming from Cuba?
Right.
There's a whole bunch of free boats that you could, if you want to, go take them back to Cuba. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people don't do that. Why are the boats only coming in this direction?
Well, who are the most rabid capitalists in America? The fucking Cubans.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're like, we've seen how this story goes.
We do not want exactly.
Fuck off. They don't want, Cubans in Miami, they don't want to hear any bullshit. They don't want to hear any socialism bullshit. They're like, no. We know what this actually is. This isn't just some fucking dream.
Yeah, it's extreme government oppression. Yeah.
That's how it is.
It's a nightmare. And like, an obvious way you can tell which ideology is the bad one is which ideology is building a wall to keep people in and prevent them from escaping.
Right.
Like, so East Berlin built the wall, not West Berlin.
Right.
They built the wall because people were trying to escape from communism to West Berlin. But there wasn't anyone going from West Berlin to East Berlin.
Right.
That's why the communists had to build a wall to keep people from escaping.
They're gonna have to build a wall around New York City.
Yeah, so
when you say this guy's a
kind of an obvious tell that an ideology is problematic if that ideology has to build a wall to keep people in with machine guns.
Yes.
And shoot you if you try to leave.
Also, there's no examples of it being successful ever. Working out for people. No, there's examples of a bunch of lies, like North Korea, give this land to the state, we'll be in control of food, no one goes hungry. No, now no one can grow food but the government, and we'll tell you exactly what you eat, and you eat very little.
Right.
Yeah. When you say Mamdani's a swindler, I know he has a bunch of fake accents that he used to use.
Yeah.
And, you know, but what else has he done that makes him a swindler?
Well, I guess if you say if you say to any audience whatever that audience wants to hear, instead of having a consistent message, I would say that is a swindly thing to do. But he is charismatic.
Yeah, good-looking guy, smart, charismatic.
Yeah,
great on a microphone.
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
and what the young people want to see, you know, like this ethnic guy who's young and vibrant and has all these socialist ideas, aligns with them, and you know, they're a bunch of broke dorks just out of college. Like, hey, let's vote for this, and there's a lot of them. And they're activated. They're motivated.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens here.
What do you think happens if he wins? Because like 1% of New York City is responsible for 50% of their tax base, which is kind of nuts. 50% of the tax revenue comes from 1% of the population, and those are the people that you're scaring off. You know, you lose one half of 1%.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully, the stuff he's said, about government takeovers of like that all the stores should be the government, basically.
Well, I don't think he said that. I think he said they want to do government supermarkets, some state-run or city-run supermarkets.
Yeah. Well, it just the government is the DMV at scale. So you have to say, like, do you want the DMV running your supermarket?
Right.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, you can upgrade to a queen mattress and a...
Right.
Was your last experience at the DMV amazing? And if it wasn't, you probably don't want the government doing things.
Imagine if they were responsible for getting you blueberries.
Yeah. It's not going to be good. I mean, the thing about, communism is it was all bread lines and bad shoes. Do you want ugly shoes and bread lines? Because that's what communism gets you.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens and whether or not they snap out of it and overcorrect and go to some Rudy Giuliani type character next. Because it's been a long time since there was any sort of Republican leader there.
We live in the most interesting of times, because we face simultaneously face civilizational decline and incredible prosperity, and these timelines are interwoven. If Mamdani's policies are put into place, especially at scale, it would be a catastrophic decline in living standards, not just for the rich but for everyone, as has been the case with every socialist experiment, But then, as you pointed out, the irony is that the ultimate capitalist thing of AI and robotics enabling prosperity for all and abundance of goods and services, actually the capitalist implementation of AI and robotics, assuming it goes down the good path, is actually what results in the communist utopia. Because fate is an irony maximizer.
Right, and an actual socialism of maximum abundance, of high income people.
Universal high income.
Yeah.
Like the problem with communism is its universal low income. It's not that everyone gets elevated; it's that everyone gets oppressed, except for a very small minority of politicians who live lives of luxury. That's what's happening every time it's been done.
Yeah.
But then the actual communist utopia, if everyone gets anything they want, will be achieved. If it is achieved, it will be achieved via capitalism. Because fate is an irony maximizer.
I feel like we should probably end it on that. Is there anything else?
The most ironic outcome is the most likely, especially if entertaining.
Well, everything has been entertaining. As long as the bad things aren't happening to you, it's quite fascinating. And it's never a boring moment.
Yes. So I do have a theory of why, if simulation theory is true, then it is actually very likely that